Joe Joe in the morning, family. Look at y'all. Y'all look 93% better than y'all did yesterday. It's Tuesday. Yesterday, before we got going, y'all were a little shaky, but I can tell you're focused in today. We're going to have a great day. We're going to have a great week. Okay, we're having a great next month and a half. 2025 is going to be a phenomenal year. One thing that I think is very important to know is I released a word recently, and the Lord was speaking to me about November and December are going to be months for strategies and structures and systems, and 2025 is going to be a great year. Some prophetic people in my life have prophesied they believe that 2025 will be the best financial year for gain year over, then probably the best year in this decade, that there's going to be like a huge jump in 2025 for the people who are ready. Now, there's a lot of people that are going to miss a lot of what's going on. You know, a lot of people prophesied the wealth transfer, and I know some people that are like, I wish God would hurry up. I'm sitting around waiting on mine. You're not going to get anything, okay? But I know so many people, lots of people in the mentoring program who have businesses. They've got stocks. They're positioning themselves for the increase. You know, it's just like this. Let's say that it was raining and you were trying to capture some of the water. However many pots, pans, vases, things that you put out, that's what you're going to receive. Just like the little widow woman in the Bible. When the man of God said, go get pots, pans, vases, and coffee cups, you know, there's going to be an outpouring of oil from the Lord. She went and got and gathered what she thought would be a good supply. And she was so happy because she's probably never been that blessed before. And the man of God is like, is this all you got? Like, you literally thought this was all God was going to pour out to you? There's no limit to God. And so you got to understand, moving forward in a winning season, there's really no limit. I tell people all the time, it's your mindset. It is the capacity of your mind that holds how much outpouring you're going to get. Okay? And so when you're moving forward with God, allow Him to stretch you. Step out of your comfort zone and get ready to win. Some of you are going to win at a level that you've never won before. You know, I talk about our mentoring program a lot. And in November, we've had more people join the mentoring program this month. The only month that was bigger is the very first month that we ever started the mentoring program. But it's growing because so many people are hungry and ready to move forward and ready to advance. And so I see so many people, you know, in our church, that are partners in our ministry, in our mentoring program, that are winning at levels that they've never won before. People that they physically feel better than they've ever felt before. People who were spiritually, they're on cloud nine. They've never been this close to God. People who have broken through levels of resistance in finances, and they're at a financial place that they've never been before. Things are changing. And I want you to change. And I want you to win. My wife and I always tell people in our mentoring program, like, hey, we're in your corner. Everybody in life needs somebody in their corner. Okay? Let's get into this. Proverbs 12:24. The hand of the diligent will rule. Think about this. I love hanging on every word in the Bible. The hand of the diligent will rule. Hang on for a minute. How many times in the Bible do you remember off the top of your head the word diligent? Those that diligently seek me will find me. That's in a few different places in the Bible. So those that diligently seek the Lord is going to find the Lord. Those whose hand is diligent, they will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. Okay? What's one thing you can rule in life? Your own life. I remember when I was young, I was probably about 11 or 12 years old. I was working outside with my dad. We lived on a farm, but then he also had a lot of different pastures around the area that he had cattle on. And we were working one day, and he just stopped and just stared at me. He said, son, when you get older, you can go to work every day, or you can do what you want to do. You can create. You can build something that you want to do. And he said, when you're doing what you want to do, it's not work. He said, I've created so many businesses that I love doing. My dad loved the cattle business. I think we had 8 pastures growing up full of cattle. He loved taking care of the cattle. Different times he's owned sale barns. He's owned horse auctions. He's done different things like that he loves. And so he said, I don't mind putting in long hours because I don't mind what I do. A lot of times in life, when people don't pay attention to the leading of the Lord, they don't follow their heart. They don't follow what God is leading them to do. You know what? They end up working somewhere they don't want to work. I remember one night, I was in bed when I was little, and I heard my dad said, son, come in here. So I got out of bed, walked to the living room. He said, I want you to watch TV. And it was the news. And they said, local job fair in Texarkana. And they had 40 different companies that people would go in, and it was like an agency that you would go in and they would place you in a job. And they interviewed this one gentleman. He was 50 years old. And they said, what are you here for? And that guy said, a paycheck. They said, what do you want to do? I don't care. I'll work 40 hours a week for you if you'll give me a paycheck. My dad said, son, this guy's given his life to do something that he doesn't want to do just to get a paycheck. Don't ever let that be you. At a young age, find out what you want to do with your life. Throw your life into it. Ask the good Lord to bless it, and you'll love your life. You'll love what you do. And so the hand of the diligent will rule. What you got to understand in life is you make the decision. Am I going to follow God? Am I going to do what God has called me to do? Now, I know a lot of people, they say, I'm called to be a school teacher. I'm called to be a nurse. I know one guy, his whole life, he wanted to work at this one mill that we have in Texarkana. He got that job when he was 22 years old. He's 50 now, and he absolutely loves it. He says, man, they pay me a lot of money, and I love it. And he said, they're talking about retirement. He said, I'm not retiring. I love what I do. I've always wanted to work out here. He loves it. For him, that was being diligent. He was diligent to get the job. He did every training they asked him to do. Anytime there was a promotion, he took a class to learn management, and he worked his way up. That's what he wanted to do. I know people they do all types of things with their life. Some own businesses, some work at factories, some work at schools. You got to understand that if you don't follow the leading of the Lord in your life, you're going to do what someone else tells you to do. Now here's the thing, when you get off work and you go home and you're married, you're bringing your attitude home. I remember one day I was talking to this couple, and I asked him a question, like a detailed question about his job. And she answered with unbelievable detail about the smallest, minute part of his job. And I said, how in the world do you know one of the most frustrating things about his job in every detail of every person's name that he works with? Oh, he comes home every night, and he, for an hour, airs out all his frustrations about his work. That is not a life. If you come home and you're mad and you're frustrated and you don't like your job, you got to understand. What did I talk yesterday about? Rightfully dividing the word of truth. You better know the word of truth. The hand of the diligent will rule, while the slothful will be put to forced labor. Okay? Colossians 3:23, whatever you do, work heartily, do it as unto the Lord and not to men. Okay? And it says, knowing that from the Lord you will receive an inheritance as your reward. If you don't like what you do, you're probably not going to do it as unto the Lord. But if you love what you do, you're going to flow. You know, at our church we have these nursery workers come in and they work in different daycares and stuff. They're licensed and they're certified. And some of these these girls come in and they are so excited to watch these kids in the nursery. And I'm just like, wow. And they're like, oh yes, I'm a child care professional. I'm going to college to be this, this, and this. I want to do this. I want to do this. I'm like, whoa, you love watching kids. Okay, some people are like that about greeting doors at our church. Some people are like that about, being on the worship team. Everybody has something they want to do wholeheartedly for the Lord. Don't do something you dislike in your life. Okay, whatever you do, work heartedly as unto the Lord. Okay, Colossians 3:17. Whatever you do, in word or in deed, do everything in the name of our Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God the Father through him. Every single day, I thank God that I get to do what I do. What I'm doing is fun. I love it. Was it challenging to step out, working at churches that I got good paychecks, good benefits? Yes, it was hard. Stepping out on a dream, stepping out on the Word of God, stepping out to start new ministry, stepping out to start the mentoring program, stepping out to start doing videos online. You know what? You just got to go for it. I remember I started making YouTube videos. I probably made 10 videos before I got more than 10 views on a video. I remember one month I looked, we had over 2.2 million views in 1 month. But when I started it, thank the good Lord that I didn't worry that I did video after video after video after video after video. I probably did 25, 30 videos before the first video broke 100 views. I think most of them were my family, Now, you put videos out and they just take off. But I stayed faithful to do what God had called me to do. You know why? I wasn't doing them for people. I was doing them because the Lord told me to do them. And I knew that if I stayed faithful in doing what God had called me to do, that the increase would come. We're in a winning season. In a winning season, you increase in every single thing that you put your hands to. Friends, this is your season. And I want you to know that we'll pray for you. If you want prayer, go to the website, joejoedawson.net. If you want to find out how to become a monthly partner, you want to find out about our mentoring program, all the information is on there. And if you're looking for somebody to run with you in life and to be in your corner, Autumn and I would be honored to be those people. And we have a lot of exciting things coming for the mentoring program at the first of the year. Love you guys. Go to the website, joejoedawson.net. Anything you need to know about us is on there. See you tomorrow.